You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, B&B fans. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we have got to talk about this weird fixation that Finn has on Hope Logan. Is the CBS soap opera about to go there and have Finn chasing her and maybe romancing her if this new obsession of his goes too far? If you haven't, please click subscribe so you don't miss a thing. We appreciate it. And now let's dig in and talk about whether B&B is really going there. Are we facing a Finn and Hope romance soon? So I'm bold right now. Finn is kind of ignoring his wife, or at least what she's asking him to do and what she's telling him is important. And it's funny, I said here the other day that Finn is taking the word of a rando over his wife. And I kind of laughed because Thomas used almost the same words I did, calling Xander a stranger and random person that Finn doesn't even know, and saying that's who he's listening to you to instead of you, Steffy. And to be clear, I mean, yeah, to Finn, Xander is a total stranger, a stranger whose words should not count for more than his wife, Steffy Forrester's do, but it's clear they do. Steffy agrees with Thomas that she'll talk to Finn and tell him to drop it if he hasn't already, but she's going to walk in on a conversation between Finn and Xander, and it's clear that Finn isn't dropping this, not at all. So Finn's going to keep on, yammering at Hope that she needs to walk away from Thomas. And when Xander's accusations start to spread around Forrester Creations, I bet Brooke is going to pounce on that because it's one more way to try and push her daughter to walk away from Thomas. I bet Ridge won't like it, but I think Brooke would go there. And of course, Ridge knows a lot more about that night than anyone else does. He is the only person that Thomas told the whole truth to. So yeah, Ridge knows Thomas was following her, driving too close, and then stopped, looked down the ravine, didn't help her, didn't call 911, and just drove away. Ridge knows every single bit of it. And if you don't recall when that happened, it was 2 months later. It was right after Brooke aggressively shoved Thomas off the cliff by the Malibu house. And Ridge was confronting Thomas at the hospital, and his son came clean, completely clean. This was like a big breaking point. Like Thomas had a complete total breakdown and was really terrified Ridge was going to hate him. And Ridge actually comforted him. And then he didn't tell anybody else. He kept it to himself. So yeah, this is all very interesting. And it was Ridge who decided that they were not going to press charges against Flo because he was with Brooke. He felt like he got to decide, or he was pushing it because Flo was making accusations against Thomas. Ridge was really mad about that. I don't know if you remember, this is back in 2019, because Flo was the one who actually helped steal and sell Hope's baby, but she was trying to throw Thomas's name out there to take to help her case. And Detective Sanchez even told Ridge that it'd be better if he just let Flo walk away since she testified against Dr. Buckingham, and that way the Emma matter would just be closed as an accident. But even with all that, I don't feel like this storyline is about justice for Emma or really even about punishing Thomas. I think this whole thing is about breaking up sin because Steffy and Finn have been together and happy for too long, and soap operas can't allow that. You know how it is on soaps. Every couple must split up at some point. Even if they find their way back to each other, they do have to have a breakup. So right now we have Liam lurking and waiting to steal Steffy, and Finn's showing this busybody interest in Hope Logan. And mind you, for all this about Hope being in danger, Thomas has never once even come close to physically harming Hope. He and Liam have brawled at one point. At one point, Thomas and Ridge brawled when Ridge stole his son Douglas. Generally, Thomas is more of a gaslighter, schemer, mind game kind of guy. He is not somebody that beats on people or does a lot of physical hands-on confrontation stuff. Steffi's a lot more physical than he is. She's backhanded Liam. She shoved Ivy into an electrical board at Forrester Creations and almost electrocuted her. She killed Allie with a tire iron. And yeah, so the female Forresters generally are much fiercer physically. I mean, Taylor put a bullet in Bill's back, for gosh sake. So, and the OG Stephanie Forrester has backhanded Liam and slapped a bunch of people around. So for Finn just to decide that Thomas is a physical threat to Hope is bull hockey to me. But what this is about, I believe, is tarnishing Finn, breaking up his marriage to Steffy, and her ultimately getting back with Liam. And it may also be about Thomas losing hope and spiraling. We'll see on that point. But with Finn so certain that he needs to protect Hope, is Bold and the Beautiful planning to have them get romantic? Is she about to walk away from Thomas because she can't handle all the pressure, now that Xander's resurrecting these accusations? In a lot of ways, old Hope, the mousier version that kept forgiving Liam for cheating and gaslighting her while waffling. Old Hope would have been a good match for Finn because he's pretty tame and kind of vanilla as a guy. But New Hope, wild, explore my sexuality and cut all my hair off Hope, needs a man who's got more flair, more fire, and that is Thomas, not Finn. But I definitely could see Bold writers giving us what nobody wants, which is Hope and Finn getting way too close. Even those of you guys that I think don't want Hope with Thomas, you can't want her with Finn, right? And especially not when Finn's acting the way he is now. So this week, Steffy goes back to Finn and tells him to stop it. But then she hears from Xander, Finn's not going to stop it. And then he's pressuring her to grill Thomas about the night Emma died. So she's going to go and ask Thomas about it. And Thomas is going to come clean and tell her everything. Even so, I don't think Steffy is going to see Thomas as a physical threat to Hope. I mean, I think Steffy thinks Hope is the one who's a danger to Thomas and his mental health. So in the end, I think Finn disagrees with Steffy, and he's betraying her, taking Xander's word over her, is continuing to sling mud at her brother. I think it's going to be too much for their marriage. And of course, couples do have a way of finding their way back to one another, but I don't see good things ahead for Finn and Steffy right now. As for Hope and Thomas, maybe she takes a step back and then Finn might think he really needs to protect Hope in case Thomas decides to hurt her for putting things on hold, all of which would just be BS because he's just not, and there's no way I think he'd ever be a physical danger to Hope. Nothing in their history indicates that. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm very, very worried that Bold and the Beautiful is going there. And in the end, when the dust settles, we could see Steffy with Liam, Finn with Hope, and Thomas upset and hurt and maybe digging that mannequin out of the storage closet at Forrester Creations. I don't know. All right. Please click subscribe if you haven't already. And definitely come back soon because we are here talking about Bold and the Beautiful 7 days a week. And this is Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.